right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. Welcome to Finish the Story. I am your host, Keegan Ray. I am joined here by my co-host, producer, and best friend, Mr. Trent Ludzag. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man.
Yeah?
Yup. I went to the doctor today.
Nice.
Kinda. Actually, I didn't go to the doctor.
Okay.
I visited a medical professional.
What does that even mean? At his house?
No. That no, I went to
We were out on a boat for some reason.
I went to a business in a strip mall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I went to I had a VA appointment for high blood pressure.
Yeah.
You know, chronic high blood pressure, because every time I've been checked since I've been out of the military, I have been told, like, they're like, your blood pressure's a little high. Like, they've never been like, oh, it's a super high, you should get this checked. They've always been like, a little high.
Yeah. It's on the high end.
But it's been every time. So I'm doing the VA thing, and I'm like, this could be something.
Yeah.
So I wrote it down. They checked me. This appointment's been rescheduled many times. But finally today, it's like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Got the address. They texted it to me a couple days ago.
Next to the Macy's.
Not that kind of strip mall.
Oh, Hobby Lobby, my fault.
I look up the address, and it's like, it doesn't look like a doctor's office at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a little strip mall. It's you go down 285, get on 20 on the west side, go about 2 miles in, take an exit there, and then right off the highway, there's this place. They have a gas station. You know, there's like a waxing place.
No, what's
There's a salon. And then on one end, there's a pharmacy, and right next to it, there's an urgent care.
Nice.
So
this is ground zero.
I'm going to an urgent care. I'm like, okay, nice.
Doc in the box, as it's professionally called.
My VA appointment at the urgent care off 20. So I go in. I'm like, I have an appointment. They do the ID thing.
Is it busy?
I sit down. No,
nobody's in there.
Some people. I mean, 2 people came in while I was waiting.
And,
Not that long. 10 minutes. Not a long wait.
Okay.
And then the lady, who I assumed is a doctor, comes out. And by the way, could still be a doctor. I don't want to slander this woman. But she was referred to by...
She could.
So when the nurse...
may or may not be.
When the nurse brings me in and sits me down in the room, she doesn't say the doctor will be in a minute. She says the nurse practitioner will be in a minute.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So she comes in, she checks my blood pressure. Or no, she comes in, she checks my history, my blood pressure history.
She checks your browser history.
Which by the...
You nasty.
More guns in here than I'd like.
I knew I shouldn't have left my phone at the front desk.
No.
It seemed bizarre, dude. It's like I was at a Dave Chappelle concert. You can't lock your phone up.
Yeah. So she just like goes over it, which by the way, there's nothing in my file past 2015, the last time the military checked it. So that's good.
Oh, yeah.
But by the way, it was normal then.
Yeah.
So then she was like, all right, the nurse is going to come back in. So then the under nurse comes back in, checks my blood pressure on both sides, and gets high all 3 times.
Huh.
I don't know what high is in blood pressure.
What was the number?
I think I kind of did like a quick average in my head, but it was like 114/93.
Yeah. It's not good when it's red.
It was around there.
When it comes up on the screen.
Oh, it wasn't red. It was. They didn't have those kinds of.
Oh, that's how I usually know. When you look
like,
over, you're like, yikes.
It was like the digital, the little old school digital display. Yeah. Where they just could make it a square.
You're like it was just inside of a Walgreens. I put my arm in the thing.
Every number was a variation of an 8.
You ever do those at like the grocery store when you were a kid?
No. Ever since I first heard I have high blood pressure, when I was just chilling, I was just in a doctor's office, not happy to be there.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, your blood pressure's high." I was like, "I'm never doing one of those again." I swore it up that day. Never again.
I will go blindly into the future.
Yes. That's been my philosophy for the last
it's been a
6 years.
Time since I have been to the doctor.
You
like
don't
a
need
regular
to.
checkup.
No, you don't need
Holy
to. For
shit.
you, no.
No way.
You're a man.
I
You're just gonna
definitely
die. You're just gonna die someday.
I have to have somebody go with me because I, for sure, 100% will talk myself out of it. Like I will go in there as soon as I get into the waiting room. That anxiety hits me, and I'm like, I'm not even feeling that bad.
You're gonna be blazed in the waiting room, just looking around, freaking yourself out. Man.
You're like, I don't feel good, but I'm not that sick. That guy's gonna kill me.
Yeah,
like that guy is gonna fucking murder me. I'm currently dying. I won't even touch anything or sit down.
You just walk. You just stand in the middle of the room.
I pace, back and forth. I'm a mess. I hate it. It's like the dentist's office. I do not like it.
I was reading.
See, that's nice.
But here's the thing. You know me. Brought my own reading. Mm-hmm. You can't touch those magazines.
Fuck no, dude. No way.
It might be the only magazine dirtier than the porn one in the woods. Is the waiting room magazine.
Dude, we never found porn, but when I hear those stories, I'm like, dude, there was some pubes in there.
Yeah. Oh, always.
Yeah. It's like a bar of soap. You just, ew. Yeah. That's crazy to think that you just had to carry around like a box of literally a box of your search history. So if you were into nasty stuff, you had a physical thing that you carried around from house to house.
That's how it ends up in the woods.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Somehow some lady gets in a relationship with you and you're like, she can never.
I have to get rid.
She can never see this box.
I mean, that was a subplot in comedy movies back in the day.
That's crazy. I've never really thought about it like that. Like if you were into some kinky shit, because always think like the jugs or like Playboys, but it's like, no, if you had a fetish.
Watch that like late 90s, early 2000s comedies again. That's
Jesus
like,
Christ.
that comes up in movies.
Dude, we had a buddy that like one time he came over and it was like everybody was chilling at this like sleepover and he's like, yo, y'all want to check this out? We're like, what? And he like put in a flash drive and just had like the most hardcore porn. And I don't know what he thought was about to happen. But like literally everybody was just like, ew, dude. And our buddy was like, yo, get that off of the computer. And dude, imagine bombing with porn at like a sleepover.
Because that's an audience who's ready for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like, dude, that was always creepy to me.
That would be
people
like,
were like, yeah, we jerked off with our friends. I was like, we never did that.
That would be like going too dirty when you're booked on a dirty show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude.
You're there for this thing, but man, you swung too far.
Yeah, it was just creepy. We're all just like, damn, dude. And then we got that was just like just a different time of like, imagine having to go to a porn store. Like, that's crazy. Now you can just get that shit Amazon to your house, a little discreet package. Like having to go in there and get some nasty shit is like so embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean,
it used to be with your bongs too. That was always weird to me. Like I'm trying to buy a bowl or some papers, and there's like a strap-on dildo with like very graphic porn in the background.
I mean, I've been in under 5 porn shops in my whole life. Yeah, and one of them I went to twice, but it was because my friend was working there.
I've known a lot of people to work. It in those places.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though. It used to be that's where you would get bowls. Like that was the only head shop was also a porn shop.
It's nice not growing up smoking because I never like had to get into that.
Yeah, it was just always like when you're like 17.
It might be why I'm such a fucking prude now.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, I remember going in with a friend of ours. Well, first up, before we were old enough, like you had to be 18, but before you were old enough, we got all our bowls at a flea market. Somebody would go to a flea market on like the weekend. And go get it because they're lawless. Flea markets are fucking, you get a Chinese throwing star, a bowl, and fireworks.
Yeah.
They're great.
I mean, you ask the right guy, you get a gun.
That's just one booth.
Find a guy that looks like me.
I get a gun. He's like, I don't see why not.
Find a guy that looks like me and then do something that a cop would clearly never do.
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, all right, you're cool.
Obviously, you're cool. Yeah, I was going to go to a weed event in Atlanta for my birthday, but I ended up having to take care of the kids. But I was like, I looked at Christina and was like, people are not going to be cool with me walking in there. I look like the police.
Yeah.
I was like, and then she was like, well, just wear like a tie-dye shirt. And I'm like, that's even more looking like them.
Yeah.
Now I look like I'm undercover. Yeah. Now they really want to kick my.
Nah, you need to dress maximum tourist for that. You need to be like wear the dad shoes.
You just have to come in with a blunt lit. Like just just puff on it the whole time. Because otherwise, you're just like...
Yeah, they're like, no.
No. And you have to wear boots. Have to wear boots. Because then you're not trying to chase anybody. If you come in there with running shoes on or like work shoes, immediately like, dude, this guy's got New Balances on.
I don't know. If you put on like put on some real like support dad shoes, like not running shoes, but like the shoes that are... athletic shoes.
Yeah.
But that's not what they're for. Like that's what to me nobody runs in New Balance.
Yeah.
New Balance
you can't show up with the A6s.
It's for dudes with back pain.
Yeah.
That's who wears them. Michael Jordan has never worn a pair of New Balances.
Yeah, you can't come with sneakers on. You definitely look like the police with sneakers.
In LeBron James's entire career.
Imagine that, dude. I'm just walking through like a weed event and everybody's just like, as soon as I walk up to the booth, they're like, we're closed. I would never sell weed to you, officer.
Yeah. Dude.
I just can't get a bag of weed at the whole event. I'm just walking around just like, everyone's like, we're closed, dude. You're like, damn, everybody's out. Can't get anything.
Yeah. I wouldn't go to that ever. Like, even the people watching would give me anxiety there.
Yeah. I've never been to one. He was my buddy wanted me to go.
I mean, he could have gotten
I've always wanted to do a food truck there.
A food truck?
Yeah.
That would sell a lot.
Dude.
Oh.
Do some grilled cheese and hamburgers.
Yeah. It would be a big problem.
And then you can't get in trouble because first off, it's decriminalized in Atlanta.
I'm selling food.
You know what I mean? So like even it's up to like I think like an ounce or two, which is a lot of fucking weed for personal. You know what I mean? Like that's a big giant bag of weed to be like, this is just for me. But just outside, yeah, I'm selling burgers. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
But I am banking out here.
Yeah.
These cookies are selling.
Oh man.
Dude, I was thinking.
Here's the problem is I don't think that you could produce enough food for that event.
You'd have to call
truck.
somebody. Yeah, somebody would have to be making runs. I was thinking this is what you do. Your dessert that you do. Homemade cookies, scoop of gelato in the middle, do homemade ice cream sandwiches.
Yep. Walk around with it.
With warm cookies, get the fuck out of here. At a weed event, bro, you might, you sell out.
People, dude.
You walk outside to get a breath and somebody's selling homemade ice cream sandwiches. That shit feels wrong. That's one of those treats where you're eating it. You're like, this is so bad.
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't had one in years, but a homemade ice cream sandwich, really, it's like maybe the best ice cream creation that there is.
I had one not too long ago because everybody had a shift beer and there was cookies left over at the party. So I just went and got a big old scoop of gelato and like, dude, I mean, everybody's going to, when you sit down as a sober person, everybody has that after work cocktail. You're like,
and then they're all looking at you over the drinks, jealous.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do a cookie next time.
Yeah, I'm like, I need some sugar. My body's like, please. It's 218 days. That's the only time it sucks. Is that after work, like getting off of work. That's like cigarettes. That's the only time I really want one. Is like driving home from work.
When you want to drink.
No, a cigarette. I said it's like cigarettes.
Oh yeah, cigarette. Open mics is when I want a cigarette.
That's
Hanging out outside of an open mic is when I want a cigarette. So bad.
It was tough for me to go to a Mexican restaurant once I quit drinking. That was one of the toughest things because I was so programmed to like, it's margarita time. It's cheese dip and cold beers. Like,
yeah,
what are we doing?
You do strike me as the kind of guy that gets too excited at a Mexican restaurant.
I wouldn't say too excited, but I'm definitely slamming, dude. I would get hammered.
Like, you look like you get borderline racist at a Mexican restaurant with how much you enjoy
No,
it.
but I do love those people.
Like, especially with that mustache, you really...
I'm the flautist. You're like, dude, it's quesadilla. Like, quit saying it like that.
You're asking for the special hot sauce in the back.
I'll have the special green one, por favor. Yeah,
man,
they love to see me coming on a
like
birthday.
you look like you get the giant margarita every time.
Yeah, I dance to Jimmy Buffett. I am wasting away. And then you come back to the table, and when they start playing the song, the house band, you go, dude, I told him to play this one.
Oh man. How many? I feel like a good measure of how much I don't want to meet somebody is how many individual Margaritaville locations they've been to. You know,
if you're going to listen, Margaritaville is awesome. Don't fucking.
And here's the thing: I say that as somebody who has once been to a Margaritaville.
Yeah, like
you gotta know you hate it before you hate it.
Yeah, you have to. I mean. It's not great.
I was in Vegas. I was walking the strip.
Yeah.
Stopped, grabbed a beer at the Margaritaville. I was like, oof. I'd rather go to the CVS and get a bomber bottle and just walk down the strip.
That's so funny you say that, because I went to the Margaritaville in Nashville and was like, walked into the hotel that they have and was like, no. Hit the liquor store. Like, I was just like, dude, no. Had one drink, was like, this ain't worth the people watching.
No.
This is not worth it.
It's well, for me, a big part of it is the music, which really sets the ambiance of the the location.
Little Jimmy Buffet.
It doesn't feel good.
Yeah,
like
I'm good.
Like, I don't have a deadbeat dad, but I can imagine it in a Margaritaville.
Yeah. It's like cruise ship music to me.
Yeah, it's like Yacht Rock's stupid cousin.
Yeah, Yacht Rock's drunk uncle, that like got asked to leave Christmas. That's what it's. I mean, Jimmy Buff, but like there's a time and a place.
Like, Yacht Rock is the guy on cocaine on a boat, and Jimmy Buffett is the guy who's so drunk on that boat that the Yacht Rock guy doesn't want to talk to him.
Yeah, that everybody's avoiding him.
Yeah.
I mean, parrot heads are a disgusting group of fans.
I always forget that you call that's one of the names, the parrot head.
Yeah. The coolest thing about Jimmy Buffet is the Coral Reefer Band got that's his band, which is the best backing band name, the Coral Reefer Band. I guess they got booked to play Bonnaroo, and people showed up like, Jimmy Buffett's back band, like what? And then he came out and played like unannounced.
Oh,
that's pretty cool. Then he goes around, like he does play Margaritavilles. Do you imagine? You're just in a Margaritaville in like Orlando. You're like with your family, and you're like, who's this fucking guy?
I would maybe kill myself on the spot.
That would be so funny.
Like what I would do is I would take my bottle of Coors Light and I would smash it on the bar. And then I would set that jagged glass up, and then I would slam my head into it.
Yeah. You just run up and stab your neck. You're like, there's a woman to blame.
Yeah. No, I'm going to make sure that nobody in that bar can ever listen to that song again.
Yeah. It's just, dude, I worked for a guy that listened to exclusively Kenny Chesney and Jimmy Buffet. And it was like, dude, building a deck in the summer heat, while this guy watches you and listens to Kenny Chesney. I
mean, I kind of feel bad for that guy, No,
don't. That guy, I mean, dude, nothing made me fantasize about beating him to death with a 2x4 more than listening to Old Blue Chair by Kenny Chesney for the 9th time that day. Like, legitimately, like, we would listen to the song 9 times. And he would be on the phone. And I was like, dude, can we listen to something else? He's like, don't worry about the music. And you're like, you're not even fucking listening. Like, what kind of torture tactic is this? I've listened to 5 o'clock somewhere. I'll kill Alan Jackson. Like, I'll fucking, I swear to God, dude.
Bro, I have this guy that my dad, actually this guy, crazy. Him and my dad, good friends, very similar demeanor, similar faces. They look similar. It's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's this guy my dad's done construction with forever.
Uh-huh.
And there have been times where I've worked with that guy without my dad there. But that guy speaks like 5 languages, like Eastern European shit. So like he's listening to like Russian opera and he's singing along. And you're just hammering 2x4s.
That's rough. A Russian opera. Like, get some fucking headphones. How about that? How about that? This isn't cute, dude. No one else wants to listen.
Here's
to
the thing. It's better than some of the other stuff people put. Like, I would rather listen to Russian opera than Kenny Chesney.
True. Kenny Chesney he only has fucking 20 songs. We're working all goddamn day,
dude. He really?
Dude, he doesn't have an extensive catalog.
I'm gonna look it
up. Not
up.
enough to where you're working Monday through Friday, and that's all we're listening to. And it's on like Pandora, so there was commercials.
I'm gonna Google Kenny Chesney on your Google account.
I fucking legitimately didn't mind Kenny Chesney, and then I worked for this son of a bitch, and I just
oh my god,
dude,
albums. How many albums does he have? That looks like quite a few.
They're like the same songs, bro.
Yeah, there's a few. Dude, he has greatest hits.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, so when it plays on Pandora, it's literally probably 10 to 15 songs that just play over and over. It's crazy. I swear to God, Old Blue Chair. I can't fucking, if I ever hear that song, dude, that's going to activate me in a fucking Publix. Everybody's gotta go. I'm just running around with a bag of apples, just pow. Dude, speaking of grocery shopping,
okay.
Christina's driving me fucking crazy, bro. She does something that, like, is this something that you do, or is it like a woman thing, or like, bro, she will grocery shop, and then I'll be like, "Are you hungry?" She's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Cool, you got groceries? What? Let me make something." You go in there and it's just like chicken. No sides, no wrap, just fucking like hamburgers, no buns, no sides. I'm like, what? Where are the fucking sides? Like nothing. She's like, I don't know. I didn't know what to get. I'm like, so we just had fucking chicken? We're just going to eat chicken?
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. It drives me fucking crazy.
Eating like me.
I said it.
Because that's what I'll do. I'll just make like one thing.
That's insane.
And just like,
I'm a side queen.
But like, I'm trying to teach myself how to make stuff a lot of times. Like, I've recently been doing risotto.
I'm
pretty good at it.
That's awesome. Risotto is a good one to have. Once you get it, it's a good one.
Made a mushroom one last week. Pretty nice.
Those are good, dude. I made it. Yeah. Chanterelle risotto. Awesome. Risotto's filling as fuck, too.
Yeah, that's why I've been doing it, because it's
you get all the
stuff and
risotto.
It's cheap.
You do a short rib, like a Coca-Cola glazed short rib with the risotto.
Yeah. I'm working my way up. Chicken's
then the
next.
glaze, so the glaze goes into the risotto and you mix it in there.
No,
so
I understand.
Yeah. That's.
And my favorite part of making a risotto is it means I have to buy a bottle of white wine. And if I open a bottle of white wine, I'm finishing that bottle of white wine. You know?
Yeah, dude. I mean,
and it's my favorite. It's dry white, which is what if I'm gonna drink white wine.
Yeah.
But every time I have it, I'm like, I wish this was a red.
The mental image of you in there making risotto with like a bonnet on, having a glass of white wine, like.
Oh, there's no bonnet involved. I'm trying to get that hair in there. You know, good for you.
I like that you're trying to do other things, though. Cook other things.
I always do that.
Yeah, people get in a rut.
I was in a little bit of a tater rut because there's just so much you can do with a tater, you know?
That's a tater rabbit hole.
There's so much to learn about it. But now I'm like, okay, let's try rice.
God knows I've been in a tater hole. God knows, dude. You're right. It's endless, bro.
You can just get a big one, and you can be like, I can turn this into a meal. And
it's like alchemy.
And there's a bunch of ways to do it. Let's see what some of them are.
I'll never get tired. I am Irish. Like suddenly your hair just turns red.
Man,
I get it. I get it.
Love a tater.
I mean, they had no idea how to cook anything else. No wonder there was a famine. Once the potatoes were gone, they're like, we haven't eaten anything else.
You know that's not what the potato famine was, right? I do like to, whenever I'm with an Irish person, I do like to misrepresent the potato famine because it upsets them.
It's like somebody was like, wow, y'all were really going in on Italians. Yeah, we always do.
Yeah. It's the last groups of people you're allowed to make fun of.
That's what I said. Yeah. I was like, what else can we do? We can't talk about who was really at the counter at the Ellis Island.
You know what I've been thinking about lately is that it's almost upsetting how few slurs there are for French people.
Yeah, frogs doesn't hit home.
No.
It's just like, it's funny.
Yeah.
Do you remember that video on E-Bombs World that has like the whole world and it's talking about like the United States sending nukes and it's like France, like fire the missile. I am tired.
That video, everybody around me thought was hilarious.
In Australia, it's like WTF, mate.
Yeah.
I saw that this morning. I was like, God damn, what a relic from E-Bombs World. I mean, it was like, I might as well have sniffed a line of nostalgia because, like, once I saw that, it was just like, beep, like everything just flashed in front of my eyes. I was like, holy shit! I remember that. I remember like
Charlie the Unicorn.
Yeah, loans are the I can't even remember the thing. The
I know what you're
Star
talking.
or something. You know what I'm talking about?
Homestar.
Yeah,
Runner.
Homestar Runner.
There's a Steam game.
Really? Dude,
it's on my wish list.
You know what else is crazy? I don't want to forget about this. We've been putting on, so first up, we've been putting on old stuff for the girls. Like we'll put on Sesame Street if we have to during bath time. Big Bird in the 70s was looking rough, dude. Big Bird on like episode 2, I would not allow her on my children. Like we turned it on and Christina was like, God damn, Big Bird looks like a crackhead.
I'm going to Google
Yeah,
it.
look him up because it's bad, dude. He was looking rough. Big Bird in like 1973 was on that stuff. I wouldn't let him.
1973 is the
he's
year.
like, yo, where's Sesame Street? No, you got to get that.
Original Big Bird, maybe?
Original Big Bird. Put original Big Bird because it was on, because it's on HBO. That one.
Oh, no.
Top left.
Oh, I don't
Go
like
top
that.
left, it shows you the face. Dude. Not good.
I feel like how did they change it pretty quick?
Yeah, I think he only got 2 episodes.
I think it probably made children cry. Look at this picture.
He's like, hey, man.
Bro,
where's Sesame Street, man?
And his eyes are so not straight.
Yeah.
It's like upsetting.
Just give him $1 and run, kids.
Oh, my God.
He's exclusively hanging out with Oscar.
And really, the way that the costume falls feels wrong. You know what I mean?
It's not good. The original Big Bird was not good. Yeah, that picture right there. The comparison.
The feet are very uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, the feet are too big. Yeah, look at that face. It's crazy, dude. But
I mean, new Big Bird doesn't look unsettling. Like it looks,
I don't like it. I don't like Big Bird.
Like Big Bird's kind of.
You know who they love? Cookie Monster, dude.
Cookie Monster?
Yeah, they love Cookie Monster. Emma laughs so hard when he comes on. It's crazy. I'm like, why? Like, why is that one funny to you? She just loves it.
I mean, Cookie Monster's the man. You know?
I mean, she's just sitting there.
You gotta
like,
respect a man
dude,
with motivation.
Yeah,
you know?
she's like, he wants a cookie, and the whole thing is too. Everybody wants to cuck him. Everybody's like cuckolding cookies.
You can't have a cookie.
Everybody wants to make
You're not
him
allowed
watch.
to have a
Yeah,
cookie.
they want like Cookie wants to watch them eat cookies. I'm like, what kind of fucked up shit is that? Yeah, it's crazy.
You gotta live with. We don't have to live within your
Chance
lines
the Rapper.
Of no
I watched
cookies.
his episode the other day.
Yeah?
He had a scene with Cookie Monster. Pretty good.
Did they eat cookies?
Yeah, Chance got cast as the Cookie Monster, and Cookie Monster got cast as the waiter. That's the whole gag.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't watched Sesame Street since I was an actual child.
Yeah.
There's storylines like that.
Yes, and Elmo is the director. They're going to do a scene because T is for theater.
Wait, that's what Sesame Street is?
There's like there's like different scenes, and they come in, and Elmo's like a director, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do a scene because T is for theater," and it's like, "This is Chance the Rapper. We're gonna do a scene together," and he's like,
I don't remember that's the format of that show at all.
It's like different scenes and like stories. Yeah, it's pretty. When you watch it, you're like, oh, I like Sesame Street because I read a whole thing about it that they like have done all these studies and like all this like focus group testing on children, and so like it is good for them. Like it's counting. It keeps them like, dude, they like yell at the TV and laugh when they're supposed to laugh. It's crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah, like Cookie Monster will tell a joke and they'll both just die laughing, and you're like,
My question is, by what metric was that is that study saying that it's good for kids and that it makes them very good at getting locked into TVs?
I think it's not that like Roboblocks or these other ones are just like to get them like crack hooked and addicted.
Yeah.
That's why Sesame Street shows real people. So it's not just like flashing color constantly, because there are stuff that you see that people have on like YouTube where you're like, fuck no, this is a lot for me. You know, I don't want, so we were looking up other things to show them. And we went to a YouTube that this guy has taped like 1994 TV on Nickelodeon, and he'll have all the commercials too.
The commercials are crazy.
Dude, when you see like Nerf commercials, you're instantly like, holy shit, dude. Global Guts. I was watching that the other day. I was like, God damn. Because you remember the commercials. It's in there. Yeah. You just can't like, so when somebody goes like, and touches it,
Yeah. I watch a podcast that they'll cut in, like part of the thing is they'll cut in old commercials.
That's crazy.
And sometimes it's like, there was one where it was do you remember the set where you would just make like melted plastic worms and stuff?
Not only do I remember it, I got my brother a creepy crawler for Christmas one year. Creepy crawlers.
Okay,
yeah,
so you really remember.
Oh, yeah. We were a creepy crawler family.
I wanted one of those.
Dude, awesome. So dangerous.
Yeah.
You're just melting things in your bedroom, first off.
I mean, my niece got an easy bake oven this year.
That's crazy.
And by the way, they're horrible now that they're not dangerous because they
taste like shit.
They don't cook anything.
No, it's terrible.
It's like you put like a weird
it's a stomach ache.
Like glue in.
Yeah. Oh, great. You gave me poison.
And then only that glue can be cooked by that low of a temperature.
Yeah, here you go, Pop. Here's cancer. Hey, apparently at our house, we're going to have when the girls get older, we have already bought is a kitchen that has running water. So they have like a whole setup where they can turn on the sink.
Make them do some dishes.
There you go. That's what I said. Get them used to washing dishes. I mean, Lil John's, his little girl loves to clean. She's like,
that's nice.
Yeah, she's like, clean up, walks around, put stuff up. You're like, hell yeah.
That's what, that would be nice. But here's the thing. With kids, it's such a gamble. It's like, you're probably not going to get one of those.
Fuck no.
You're probably going to get a tear down kid.
Bro, we call Ava Terry right now. Well, I put it in reverse Terry because she screams like a pterodactyl. She's just constantly just like, wah! We put her in a high chair and she just goes crazy. Dude, Christina got him a balloon.
I think it's going to be funny if that becomes like her nickname.
Yeah, her for real nickname, Terry. Dude, Christina got him.
Because Terry's a lady that you got to be careful around.
Problem. And it's like when she calls her that, I'm like, you're manifesting her into Terry. Because she'll just be like, what are you saying, Terry? And she's over there like, oh, like, we're riling her up, dude. It's like the damn raptor cage. But yeah, it's wild. They're starting to move around, but they can't go forward. They can only go backwards.
Okay.
She pushes, she backs up. She ain't figured it out yet.
That's funny.
So she pushes, and she like will want this, so she'll like push herself in a circle all the way. I'm like, dude, you'll get it. They say don't, I pick her up and wheelbarrow. Like let her work out, try to get her arms. We try to get a pump.
Jacked baby.
It's about to be my turn. Christina goes back to work in February.
Oh yeah.
So it's I'm daytime daddy. It's gonna be a lot, dude.
Good luck.
I'm scared. Everybody keeps going, you need a routine. I'm like, I don't have a routine. I've never had a routine.
What's a routine?
Yeah, I'm like,
you have to Google it the first time someone said
I'm reading about it. It seems strenuous. Yeah. It seems hard.
I hate routine.
You know what I do like doing? They love to be read to. Even at a young age. They will sit in a chair in front of me, and as I read, I'll like read a page and then show them the page, and they both will just sit there and be like, and then like listen. It's crazy. I'm like, do y'all even know what I'm saying? They just enjoy the rhythm of.
I guess it's time to start reading through Dune again.
That's exactly what I told Christina. I was like, seems like it's that time.
But Christina remembers how you were to talk to when you were reading. Because here's the thing. You are harder to talk to as a person when you're reading it. Because everything that happens in your life starts to make sense with shit in the book. You're like, oh,
Frank
no.
Herbert was fucking on to something, dude. This guy.
But you can't talk to anybody about it because nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Everybody's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What do you mean? There's a fish man inside of a tank that's breathing in psychedelic gas, and he's the reason they go through space.
Well, this is like that one time when the God Emperor, like,
I mean, I was reading the book as I found out that Christina was pregnant with twins, and that coincided with them finding out that they were having twins.
Is she pumped on Dune Keegan to return?
I don't know. I hope so because I am so pumped for the next movie. Right now, I'm reading that Weird Scenes in the Canyon, and I'm ready for that to be done.
Reading what?
Weird Scenes in the Canyon. It's all about the CIA and Laurel Canyon. They started the hippie movement, and then killed everybody.
So you're reading that to your babies?
No, that's a solo mission that sometimes I get spun out at night, and I'm like, dude, this is too much. I have no one to talk to. I'm just sitting in a chair, like turn the audiobook off, and I'm just like, Jim Morrison's dad was in this. You just want to talk to somebody about it. You have nobody. I have to get on Reddit and just read and go, that's a terrible take. Yeah. Now I'm fake arguing with somebody in my mind.
That's why I stopped doing that stuff.
Yeah. Late night, dude, I've been having a problem late night of just the battle between I don't want to go to bed early because I have no time to myself. So when we put the girls down, it's like 8:39 and finally you have time to yourself. You're like, oh, fuck yeah. But you're so tired that you just want to go to bed. And then it's like you fuck up if you stay up and start playing video games or something. You look over, it's like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. You're like, oh, these babies are about to wake up.
And I haven't slept
at all, dude. And then you try to think of like what caused this, and you're like, God damn, dude. I was fucking playing a skating game.
Oh, you've been getting locked into session like that?
I like session. Session really turns my brain off because I can listen to music on headphones and it's very quiet. And
just do the same thing. Try the same line over and over again. Yeah.
It's very nice to.
Sometimes it's happened a couple times where I've gotten annoyed where I've found a line that I like and I'm like, I'm going to pull this. And then I pull it like 2 tries later and I'm like, oh, well, I guess I got to find a new spot now.
Yeah. What I don't like is when I do it and then I'm like, I can do something better than that. And then I find that I can't. And I'm like, I should have fucking saved that. I will never do that again. You're like, I didn't realize I did something quite impossible. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, it happened. It's a good game, though.
Other than that, what else have we done? Oh, we watched Hell or High Water. We watched that movie.
Oh, yeah. I think
badass.
We talked about that.
I think we talked about it before. I don't know if we were talking about, dude, you know what I want to do ever since I watched that movie? Spoiler alert. I want to get a magazine 50-50, the 100 rounds. And he duct tapes them together. So at the end, he has a magazine that he puts in, and he's like shooting at these people, and then he takes it out and flips it, and puts it back in.
Yeah.
That's badass.
At this point, they make things for that.
Right. That just would be so fun.
Where you can like
to shoot
buy
100 rounds
a piece of plastic that is designed to have 2 magazines.
Right.
Like
yeah, that's what my dad was saying. And he's like, with 3D printers and stuff. But yeah, I was just like, God damn, that would be fun.
Yeah.
That would just a waste of 100 bullets. But God damn, would that be awesome. That was my buddy's bachelor party. We just went out there and just shot guns.
And especially you got a 3D printer. You don't even need a 3D printer. You need a hanger. You ever heard of this? If you have an AR.
An abortion?
If you have an AR, the old way to do it is you would get a hanger, like a metal hanger, and you would cut it and fold it in a specific way. Now you can also 3D print a little piece of plastic that you basically drop into your trigger mechanism in a specific spot, and it blocks something that makes it full auto.
That would be so fun.
That's a felony, by the way. So everybody knows. That's a felony.
That is a felony. We're not telling you to do that. We're telling you that that is an option out there. That
it's physically a possible thing.
Right. It's a possibility.
You could do, but you shouldn't do it.
You should not do that.
You shouldn't do it.
That's
in
a
the
felony,
woods
and
alone.
you're never going to get to vote in these quite serious and quite eventful elections.
They definitely matter a lot.
Yeah, they matter so much, dude.
Everyone is the most important.
What the fuck
one.
is up with that? I cannot believe that in our country, it's so funny to me that they the pardons. That's funny. Like that is a fun. Like that's a fun. That there's a. I didn't know they were unlimited. That they can just pardon
anybody.
Anybody.
I didn't know that you could pre-pardon.
I didn't know that you could do that either. In case my family does anything. That's crazy, dude.
Bro.
I didn't know that you could go back and pardon in 2014. Fauci got pardoned for 2014. I'm like, well, what a peculiar number that is. What happened in 2014? I mean, just in case anything came up in 2014, we pardoned him. It's such like a...
It's all fake and it's all stupid.
Like that's just funny to me that you can just do unlimited pardons. It's such like a no take backs. It's such like a little kid logic of like,
yeah,
you're in trouble. Nuh-uh. And wouldn't that encourage people to, I don't know, get close with the president because you just get get out of jail. I didn't realize it was
no matter what kind of hand signals they like.
Yeah, I didn't know it was get out of jail free forever.
By the way, I did get gaslit about the fucking
Elon
thing.
Tell me
for
about
like
it. What happened?
A crazy guy came on Billy's podcast. Check it out. It's a pretty fun episode.
Okay, nice.
But he brought in this. Basically, he was like, if you watch the full uncut original recording of the thing, it's not in there. the thing, and it is. And he showed me that, and I watched it, and I was like, holy shit, he's right. But then I watched it again later and did some more. I mean, by the end of the podcast episode, I remembered that Elon had admitted that he did it and apologized. So I'm like, oh, why is this even a debate?
Dude, that guy is, yeah.
But funny episode of Billy podcast, if you want to watch a guy yell us into believing something fake for half an
That'll
afternoon.
happen too. You're like, I'll go with this to make this
I'm like,
stop.
I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, to make this stop right now, I'll just...
To be honest, I would much rather he didn't heil. I really wish he hadn't because it makes me uncomfortable that happened.
It's... All right, so that guy, to me, it gives the same vibes. Is you seen that video, like the dudes from Apple, like dancing or like Windows at the fucking thing, and they're like on stage, like dancing. If you haven't seen that, it's like Bill Gates and them. And it's like Windows 95, and they're like up there dancing or whatever it is, and it's like at a convention, and they're such fucking nerds that when you see them up there and they're that uncomfortable, you're like, these guys are fucking nerds. Same thing with Elon Musk. It's like, dude, you're 50 years old, the richest man on the planet, and like you give a fuck what people like. You're like you're like a Reddit troll.
He's a troll.
You're a Reddit troll. As a grown man, like
he's the Twitter troll supreme.
That's crazy to me. Like you're an adult that like, is it? And you, I mean, like to tweet out after you do a Nazi salute to be like, I did not see that coming. Like I fucking hate you. Like you, and I don't hate him like other people. I'm like, you're lame. Like this is weird to me. You're the richest person. I want you to fuck off.
It's
What happened when rich people just hung out and like we didn't? I mean,
somewhere we all started paying attention to famous people as if their opinions are helpful,
right?
And they're not.
It's like we're allowing
famous people are the craziest people. They're the least down to earth. They're the least plugged into what's happening in the world. Yeah. Why is anybody taking any of their any of them?
He's just such a fucking nerd to me.
None of the actors.
I don't want any.
Comedians. We should not be like we're doing sillies, dude. Like some comics do a political thing.
The people at the inauguration was like kind of like. Gave you a peek into like what like Jake Paul
brothers,
Mike Tyson, Theo Vaughn. You're like, why are these people here? Like this is a bizarre group of people.
Probably more brain damage at that inauguration than any other in history.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't see the guest list, but
I guess maybe whichever one immediately followed the Civil War. Maybe
which one where the guy died afterwards because it was so cold. That's my favorite.
A guy died at inauguration.
Yeah, like it was the shortest presidency because he gave a speech and died.
Yeah, one of the presidents. Yeah, it was like rainy and cold, and he got
look
like
up
pneumonia.
who died after that. That's gonna bother me. But yeah, imagine being like, no, God damn it, we're doing it outside. It's tradition. And then like when it sets in that you're going to fucking die.
William Henry Harrison.
Yeah, the 9th.
Probably our best president. He fucked up the least, I would imagine.
How cold was it? He got pneumonia up there, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, dude. That's hilarious to me. Because, he told somebody, shut up. Somebody's like, do you need a job? I like that Trump said we're doing it inside.
Yeah.
I'll refuse.
I mean,
I can't get this. Yeah.
You can't be the second guy to have that happen.
No. Yeah. And if you're Trump, you survive an assassination attempt and then get a little sniffles.
He's
sniffies.
And make no mistake, he is a very old man.
For real. Yeah.
He would, if he got pneumonia, it'd take him out.
Be done.
Let's be real. Nobody expected Donald Trump to live this long.
It's crazy that it's because of their health care. That's why those people live for so long. They all have that government health care. Because this great, like 78. Why would you want to be the why would you? I would just be at Mar-a-Lago playing golf.
Why would anybody want to be the president?
It seems like it's something that like you are blackmailed into. Now you have to.
I'm pretty sure I've said this many times on different podcasts for several years, but I don't think that anybody, and this is not controversial at this point, I think anymore. I don't think anybody who wants to be president should ever be allowed to be president.
No, if you want the job.
You're a monster.
And it's crazy that it's only like one person and we pretend that it's one person. We don't like acknowledge the fact that it is a group of people.
A lot of people.
And
most of them aren't on ballots.
I don't want to get political. No, what when I saw Sean Gardini, like he just would do that and then say the most politically charged thing. And then you go, stop. I don't want to get political. I was like, dude, genius. Because it is ad nauseum,
It's hard, but it's like shit is so crazy. It's hard to not.
It's crazy to think
at least comment on how insane the political landscape has got.
The political landscape. This is what me and Christina talked about the other day. The fact that the guy that is the president almost got shot from a dude that was flying a drone in Butler, PA, and has no online. You know what I mean? It's like that happened. Nobody has said anything. He's like, I'm releasing the JFK documents. Hey, why don't you release those documents of when you got shot?
Yeah.
And the slanted roof. What's up with those?
Yeah. I mean, he released a bunch of that kind
That's
of stuff.
just crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy that's how fast things are moving.
He released the Silk Road guy.
What a champ that is. Because that guy I didn't realize he had 4 life sentences.
I thought it was 2.
I think he got 4.
Yeah, for starting a website.
I mean, he did, I guess, try to kill or get somebody to get killed, but it was an FBI agent.
Here's the thing. I've heard different versions of that, and some of them make it sound more like he was set up.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Specifically,
I was about to say it was an FBI agent.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's something that like the way they got him is there was like a fight in a library, and he like stood up and they stole his laptop. Like that's apparent. Like the FBI like set him up the whole way through. Yeah. It's just like the kidnapping where it's like 13 people and 12 of them are FBI agents. It's like what? For a website.
And by the way, imagine how much money he's never going to get back in Bitcoin that they seized from him.
Oh, my God.
Because that whole shit was based on Bitcoin.
I watched the doc.
That kid would have been a billionaire immediately on step.
Oh, yeah.
But I think they sold it all.
I watched a documentary the other night about the biggest heist ever, and it was about these people stole Bitcoin out of these wallets, and then it like went up to 4.5 billion, but they couldn't fucking spend it. Yeah, and it was about
because
these
it's
weird
all tracked. That's
about
the nice
these
thing
weird
about
nerds
Bitcoin
that like were like trying to launder it, and like the girl became a white rapper, and like dude, and a lot of how they got them was because this girl posted on social media like every day. She was an influencer. Would like show the inside of their house, and they're just like, oh, let's categorize all the shit in the background. How much did they spend? But they were talking about, I never even thought about that, of like they had billions of dollars and no way to spend it. Yep. They would go to like a casino was one of the ways that they would do it. Like that was like one of the ways they were trying to like. But yeah,
you
like
can only do so much at a time.
You can't because it's all tracked, and then once
you got to start a business.
Yeah, but
getting the car wash business.
They would start these businesses, and then she would like go to. She did like a whole speech about social engineering and how to steal people's passwords.
Yeah. I mean,
and people were like in the crowd, like, "Wait, that doesn't sound ethical." It's like,
I mean, I don't think that there's a vape shop exclusively. Like, if it's a vape shop that doesn't also have smoke stuff, that is a front, 100%.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I don't think there's a single standalone vape shop only that is not a front. And I think most of the ones that do have everything are also fronts.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that about head shops too. There's a lot of head shops you go in, you're like, they're not selling this much kratom. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no fucking way, dude. Ain't no fucking way.
Oh, man, kratom is every time I encounter it, not into it.
It's crazy that they keep those places open.
Yeah.
Like head shops are just like, I don't know. It's like you said, it's just like you buy, I guess, a couple $1,000s worth of Chinese glass and run a storefront and just juice the numbers. You're like, holy shit, were we busy?
I mean, the kratom, I hate that there's like kratom bars. I mean, they're kava bars, but
for whatever reason, that's a really big thing in North Carolina.
It's in college towns.
Well, it's only in North Carolina. Like I've never seen a kratom bar in Georgia, which is weird. Is it in Athens?
There's an open mic one. There's an open mic at one in Athens that I go to sometimes. Yeah. College towns. Well, it's because you can go in there at 18 and you can get ripped. So they set up in college towns
because it's like it's kind of like hookah.
It's crazy.
I was never into hookah.
And it's like I feel like it's the worst place to do comedy because it's like doing it at an opium den. Like it's the wrong vibe.
Nobody's clapping, nobody's laughing.
Everybody's just zonked out on a couch.
Yeah. And kava makes you feel weird.
I hate it. I've only done it a couple times.
I drank one of those big old kava drinks. I was like, wow, I don't like the way this makes me feel at all.
Wow.
It's like I did it and was like, whoa, I don't feel good. I feel icky.
Ew.
It's a bad feeling to have after you do a drug. I hate this.
I feel like I put dirt in my soul.
Yeah, I dumped dirt on my soul like a fucking casket.
Yeah, I hate it. Yeah, all that weird stuff, like that's where Satan lives, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really like weed culture. Like as much I smoke a lot of weed, and it's like I don't like the culture of like a dispensary. It just bothers me. Like the people that's what they do or that's their identity at the store. You're like, dude, get away from me.
I mean, I feel the same about not all, but a lot of beer people.
True.
That's kind of how it is. You know
True.
what I mean?
Yeah, people that just get really into whatever it is. There's always going to be those people.
Well, it's like it comes from used to being one of those, I think, because I used to be one of those people. I was in the beer industry for a few years. I was going to college for it.
Uh-huh.
And then I came out of it, and now I'm like, ugh.
That is some people's whole personality. It's like a beer person.
It was me for a while. Now I got a few.
It's tough to, because those people, when they come in to the bar, it's like, dude.
And most of them don't know anything.
Oh, but they'll tell you.
They took like A class.
Yeah, they'll tell you all day. They're asking you what fucking hops are in it. You're like, dude, I don't give a fuck.
If you're this into it, you should be able to make good, educated guesses by tasting it.
That's why I just give them a taste. I don't do that. I'm not playing those games. Like, I'm not. If you ask me what hops are in it, I want to fight you right off the rip, dude.
And by the way, hops, I assume, are crazy now. I assume a lot of them are different now because even like when I was in the beer industry, there's a lot of testing different genetics. Because hops are a similar plant to weed. They're in the same. They're like cousins or something like that.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, in the same family. So hop, like that's why some of the best hops in the world are grown in like Oregon and like places where good weed grows.
Yeah.
But like it's almost like the beer thing growing probably around the same rate and time as the weed thing has kind of led to like people are like experimenting with weed and all these weird genetics, and then they're like, oh well, we can do this with hops and make blueberry hops and crazy shit like that. So these days I probably don't even know the names of the popular
and
ones.
Probably the indoor grow. I mean, I would imagine you could do it just like weed and do like you can't.
Hops grow completely different than weed, so you can't.
Oh, you can't?
No, they grow they grow like vines.
I wonder. That's crazy.
So the way that hop plants are grown typically is
okay.
So they grow them straight up these strings. They'll have like strings running like horizontally up and down a field.
Yeah.
And they'll run thinner strings from that to the ground, and it'll grow up that. And then when it's time to harvest, you just clip those strings from the top and it falls down,
so
and then
cool.
you just have the whole vine. You throw
See,
it in.
that's what I fuck. I would love to just work like on a farm like that.
It's weird. Here's the thing: hops, you also can get a weird head buzz from them.
Really?
If exposed enough, because like when we did wet hop one time, which is fresh hops, and I had to. I was the underling of the brewery, right? So when it comes down to having 8 or 10 hop full vines of them, and somebody's got to get in there, because we don't have no machines, and pluck all those cones up. That was like 3 days of work for me.
Jesus.
Where I was just sitting, and I had a giant, huge bucket in front of me, and a tarp covered in hop plants next to me, and I would just grab a piece, start plucking and throwing them in, grab another.
Is it sticky?
Yeah, you get like this weird yellow resin.
Yeah,
but I was doing it without gloves for the first like day and a half, and then like I'd be sitting there and I'd be locked in doing it for like 2 hours, and then I would finish be like get up to go to the bathroom or something. I would stand up and I'd be like, whoa, something weird is going on with me now, and I don't know what it is. And then the brewer was like, oh yeah, those like in super high concentrations can be a little psychoactive.
That's crazy.
But, it takes a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I just know that when you they talk about when you work with weed, you get finger hash from your gloves because of like all the resin. Yeah.
Yeah. So hops, basically, that happens.
It'd be cool.
But I wasn't wearing gloves because I was just, all crazy. This is getting boiled anyway. It's going to be clean.
Yeah. Christina, we make shots for, we do like ginger shots. And we do like ginger root and turmeric, and we finally got like all natural turmeric, like the actual root. And Christina was, she was like making the thing, but she didn't realize that you're not supposed to do turmeric; it dyes your hands. So she looked like she had jerked off like an Oompa Loompa. Bro. It was crazy. She goes, oh, no, I think this is turning my hands yellow. And I didn't think anything of it. And then I came in the kitchen, and I was like, holy shit, dude, you're like a cartoon. That was crazy.
Don't touch the babies for a while.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I was like, do not touch them.
You're going to dye them.
Yeah, we can't show up with fucking jaundice babies. Yeah, we do these shots that are like... garlic, ginger, cayenne, turmeric.
That sounds like it tastes horrible.
Actually, this round, it's really good. The turmeric really takes the bitterness out of it, and she figured out how much honey. So this round is good, but we've had some rough batches.
Rough times.
Yeah, we've had some batches where until we figured out how much garlic to put in, it felt like you were getting like throat fucked by a garlic roll. It was crazy. A little shot, and you're just like... I love garlic, dude.
I love garlic.
And it was too much. It was in your soul.
Yeah.
Like your soul felt like garlic.
That's what I want. That's how you get the dirt out of it.
It was bad, dude. I was like, I love garlic. And this is crazy.
That's how I get that kratom dirt out of my soul.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think I've ever made a recipe that called for garlic and used less than double what it says.
Always. I'm like, they don't fucking know.
No idea.
They don't fucking know.
Losers.
I've been doing steaks in a cast iron on the stove, and basting them.
That's a good way
and
to
we
do
get
it.
we get from Fresh Market does like a rosemary and chive butter.
We have we've gotten to food twice. I think we're hungry.
I am so, dude. I didn't know about cast irons.
Cast irons are great.
Holy shit! Yeah. You cook everything on
everything.
Like Christina was like,
I did
you don't
probably
have
a
cast
year and
iron?
a half where I ate everything. Every meal I made was out of a
It's
cast
the best.
iron.
It's the best.
Some way or another.
Now that I have one, I don't know what I would do without it. The thing I want now is I want a flat iron grill.
Yeah.
Bad. Mm. If nothing else, just
They're
for
great.
breakfast. Just for brekkie.
I mean, I make smash burgers and stuff, you know.
Dude. Smash burgers are great.
Because here's the problem. A smash burger, you want it as a double burger.
Yeah.
Right? When you have just a pan that you're doing it in, you can't really smash two burgers in there. I don't have enough space. So I have to smash a burger and then I have to make the next burger.
Yeah. That'll work.
Not optimal.
You
gotta be making
I'm a
them.
big hot food person. I want my food to be hot. Like, I have to tell Christina, I'm like, I'm eating. Whether or not you fucking sit down, I want to eat it while it's hot. Drives me crazy. Because she's ADHD as fuck. She'll, like, go to sit down. She's all over the place. Next thing you know, she's, like, fucking doing something for the kids. What are you doing?
Changing the batteries in the remote.
Yeah. Very, like, she is, a lot of people, I think, are just like, I'm ADHD, you know? And they just say that. But she is fucking, like, debilitating, like, ADHD. You'll turn around. She's like, just started a project. She's like, nice. I'm learning how to crochet. Like, we're in the middle of, I'm making a side because you didn't. Like, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I've been trying, though. We're trying to cook some different stuff. Yeah.
I mean, variety, you got to have it. Otherwise, because you can ruin something for a kid. Dude. I don't like bell peppers still because I had too many of them.
Cauliflower.
Really, I love
fish sticks. Get the fuck away from me.
Fish sticks. Fish sticks. I don't think that's that so much. Is like, as an adult, you've developed taste and like
it makes me
a
feel
discerning
poor.
palate. You know, fish sticks are just bad.
It's like a time capsule to a poor time. Like a lot of yelling, a lot of crying.
Yeah,
a lot of fish sticks in silence.
I mean, when's the last time you had like popcorn shrimp?
Gross.
That tastes, dude.
That's Captain Disease, baby. Yeah. Like Captain D's, like who the fuck is eating there? Like I want to do like a Channel 5 interview where I interview people at once. It's like, what the fuck is going on with you?
There's a non-zero chance that my high blood pressure came from Captain D's because that's the last time I ate it.
Yeah, dude. They're like, if you had Captain D's in the past year, you're gonna be getting like a monetary reimbursement.
It's going to be.
If you were a loved one.
I've been getting some crazy ones of those on the Instagram.
What?
Like there's a GTA one now where they're like, have you spent too much time playing GTA?
Damn.
Yeah.
People playing it like that?
Apparently.
That's embarrassing. That's like.
I mean, I've got some games. I've got some.
I know, but that's an embarrassing, like where your whole.
I've showed you my XCOM page.
You're like, I'm throwing my life away for Grand Theft Auto. I think those are definitely people playing online. For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because online, it never ends. You just keep going. You know, like I'm playing a game and then I finish the game and I spent way too many hours on it. But now I have to find a new game.
Yeah. I can't think. I mean, I can't game like that. So it's like, it's crazy. Like, I wish I could.
I mean, I was locked into League of Legends for a while, and that game can really take your life away.
I know some people that has gotten lost families, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's
you're just like, damn, dude. It's tough. Video games do rule.
They're good.
And they need, like, women have to understand that.
Yeah, they have to.
Like, they rule. Like, I get it, though. Because nothing to me is worse than having to watch somebody play a video game. If it's not like Ghost of Tsushima. If you're like, if I'm watching you play Call of Duty, I want to fucking kill myself.
I mean, there's YouTube channels dedicated to it.
Which is weird. I don't understand that. Like watching other people play the only time I want to watch you play a game is if it's like a Ghost of Tsushima game and I'm watching you figure out a puzzle that I've angrily tried to do for an hour and a half. And I'm like, fuck it. I'll just watch somebody do this goddamn thing. It's in the corner. Of course.
On YouTube, I've been watching people play through the Dark Souls games, because those I'm never going to play because I'm not good enough at video games and I'm not going to get good.
Yeah, those are like the hardest game, right?
Well, they're built to be intentionally like super difficult to beat.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that.
I don't need that in my life. I don't get a lot of time to play a video game. I mean, dude, Christina saw me have a full fucking online gaming spaz. I don't think she was ready for it, dude. I didn't know she was in the room. I did not know she was in the room. And she walked in and I was hitting this kid with a, yeah. Well, that's why your fucking dad left. You are a piece of shit. You fucking pussy. I was like, dude, you fucking pussy. I was like, where do you live? Fucking Florida, dude? I'll fly to Florida and fuck you up. And she was like, who are you talking to? And I turned around. She's
some kid.
She's holding a baby. I was like, yeah, just some fucking kid. She's like, a kid? I was like, not a kid. He's cussing back. He's cussing back. She's like, why are you talking to him? I'm like, dude, he wouldn't respond to me. You don't fucking know, babe. Like, this guy is a medic and he won't even give me help. Like, what are we doing here? That shit will, dude, when a child.
Online gaming is.
Boy, I couldn't play Mortal Kombat. That shit. No. Mortal Kombat, really, like, your white knuckle, like, in my mind, I've already driven to Walmart and bought a new controller because this one's done.
Chivalry is the first online game I've played and liked in the last few years. And it's because when you spawn in, you know you're going to die and it's going to be
what is
pretty
Chivalry?
Soon. You haven't seen the Knights game?
Oh, yeah.
You spawn in, you know you're going to die pretty soon.
But it's like a medieval.
So when it happens, it's not upsetting.
It's like a medieval like fighting game.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You're just happy that you got a couple of them, you know? And I like that.
Apex, the problem with Apex is you're fighting with somebody that's on your team.
Yeah, not into that.
Dude, Madden. Little John used to be really good at Madden. When we were in college, my man did not go to class and would play online ranked Madden. But his girl that he was dating at the time, she would put on the headset and act like she was playing.
That's so funny. Oh, man.
She'd be like,
making men cry.
Oh, dude, she'd be like, I'm about to throw the post, and you're not going to be able to stop me. I'm going to do a crossing route.
He's got like a playbook for her, so he's like calling plays, and she's like so reading scripts.
Oh, it's so funny. You could hear people screaming in the headphones. She'd have to like take the headphones off.
That's a fun game. I like that bit.
Yeah, it's really fun, especially because he was so good.
Yeah, because I've learned to not play the online video games that I'm going to become emotionally invested in.
Mortal Kombat, I think, is hard. I could see UFC. I haven't done UFC, but something about a one-on-one fighting game is just Knockout or Punch Out or whatever. That game that came out on PlayStation. That game, me and my brother, that led to some fucking punch outs. That was like for real. That led to like we would fight over that shit.
There's this game I've been seeing like clips of online. I don't even know what it's called, but it's like a one-on-one sword fighting game. But it's kind of chivalry, but more like gladiator style, and it's like out sword playing somebody.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And it looks pretty sick because it's like 10-second battles.
Yeah.
It's like get in there, somebody gets somebody else, and then you move on.
I mean, the best for that was the Wii. I mean, the Wii reigned supreme as like that really changed. Like we haven't seen something like that. Like Switch never really took off like that. Like the Wii was like Wii tennis, Wii bowling. I mean, that was the shit.
I never had a Wii. I always had to play other people's.
We had a Wii, and then there was a dive bar by my house when I lived in Kennesaw, and they had Wii bowling on a projector. Dude, so many nights just getting drunk.
I just realized I'm going to cut this conversation around the word bowling.
Yeah, my cousin or my nephew the other day at my mom's birthday was talking about Mario Kart. I was like, "Oh, you don't
Mario
even know.
Kart will make me mad."
You don't even know. I was like, "Little nephew, I'm about to make you cry, brother."
Yeah.
Like Blake was like, "We don't need to play Mario Kart." I was like, "Cause he knows." I was like, "He knows."
See, I never had Nintendo. I was not a Nintendo kid, so I never played like the Mario Kart, the Super Smash Bros. I'm horrible at those games,
dude, we
and
were
I can't
big
play
Nintendo,
them.
yeah.
Because anytime I would play them, I would be playing with a kid who owned it and would just murder me.
Yeah, we were big Nintendo kids. Mario Kart on 64 was a lot of late night fights over that. We would do GoldenEye. That was another big one. GoldenEye was like, dude, Thanksgiving, my cousins would come over and it'd be like all of us versus them, you know? Tony Hawk was a big one that caused a lot of fights. Once Tony Hawk came out, the pro skater.
Yeah, that'll do it.
It was always fun, like when they would come to the house for Thanksgiving and you get the ball on them. You're
So
like,
you guys had the games. My family was not the games family.
yeah, we had.
So I was in your situation. I was the cousins that would come over and get dunked on.
Yeah, it was always good.
That was me.
You would just like hand it to your brother and be like, Blake, show them.
Just mad, dude.
Show them. I remember my cousins had I can't even remember the name of the thing now. They had like a Sega game that was like I have to think of it. It was like a raunchier game.
Was it the Conker's Bad Fur Day or whatever? Was it that one?
No, they had the claymation one, which was cool. It was like you fought the claymation fighting. That was cool. It was like I have to think of it. I can't think of it now.
What year are we looking at?
Older. It was like Sega, I would think. Claymation video game.
Clay Fighter.
Clay Fighter was definitely at 1993. That was dope. We weren't allowed to have that game.
I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah, this game was awesome, dude.
Yeah, I never played this.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this is.
It's like a fighting game, but you're like these claymation, like different people. Yeah, my mom wasn't big on like Mortal Kombat when she saw it, but my dad was like, "It's a video game. Like you gotta let them have it." Thank God my parents weren't like on. Like by the time Grand Theft Auto came out, I was old enough, you know.
Yeah, I'm lucky that my parents never saw a Twisted Metal cutscene. They just saw the gameplay.
Twisted Metal. I forgot about that one. That was another great one.
I've been trying to work it into a joke, but it hasn't been working well.
That was just a fun, like, multiplayer game.
Yeah, well, it was like the Mario Kart had the battle version.
Yes.
But Twisted Metal did that so much better. It was so fun.
It was the best, but on the Mario Kart one, you'd stay up top and just shoot shells down. Yeah, that was always fun.
That sucks.
That's always fun.
Fuck you.
That was always fun. You're like, dude, I'm about to. If I can't win, I'm sabotaging everybody. I'm launching a green shell. Mario Kart will piss you off.
Oh yeah, it's like virtual Monopoly almost. Where it's like if you want to break up the family real quick.
It doesn't matter what it is, honestly. Like anytime you play a board game, for whatever reason, it gets so like hostile so quick.
People get invested, and any competition is crazy.
And you get to see people's real colors in a board game. You really see how people maneuver in life where you're like, oh, that's how I told you. I sat down and looked over at my sister-in-law. I was like, oh, okay. As soon as we started playing Monopoly card game, I was like, oh, so you don't like me. Like, all right. Yep. It's very apparent. Yep. Uno will like literally divide a room.
Yeah.
I don't like any of the new Unos, like Uno Flip or Uno get it out of here.
Classic Uno or
it's
nothing.
Classic Uno or not. Like I don't want. The original rules were fine. I don't need to do like a whole nother. I like Boggle, dude. One time, I went to a Thanksgiving with this girl I was dating, and she was black. The only reason I say that is because it's very apparent in the story. It helps. I'm the only white person.
I would have rather you would have made me guess.
No, I'm the only white person, so I'm like very just uncomfortable the whole time. So I haven't really been saying much, and we sit down to play Boggle, and her fucking grandmother, dude, starts making up goddamn words. Like, dude, and they were playing a rule where you can't Google. You have to just argue the majority.
That's
so if you're like, you have to call it out, you go, that's not a word. And then she has to plead
Bro,
her
that's
case.
like the XFL version of Boggle.
She had to plead her case, and then if a majority voted on it, you got to use the word. So like I'm sitting there, the first time it comes up, I'm like what is going on? We're just making up rules here?
Oh, that would.
And then she got on some like bullshit like word, and it happened on the second time. And I just hadn't said anything. Very uncomfortable, dude. I lost it. I was just like, like, bro, we're just late. I was like, first off, it's just because you're old. That's why they're letting this. I was like, dude. And as I'm like going through this whole thing, I'm like, that's not even a real word. I looked over and she's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Oops.
And you're just like, and then this is where she goes, fine, I won't take the point. And you're like, oh, hang on my fucking face. Like, hey, you were cheating. Clearly.
Bro, as soon as you started going off, she's like, I'm going to crush this kid.
Yeah,
She's
dude,
like,
that is the move. If somebody calls you out for like cheating or something, you just go, fine, I won't take the point if that's how you want to play.
Yeah, if you flip immediately.
Yeah.
Look
If
innocent.
that's how you want to do it. Man. Yeah, it's not a big deal. You don't play free parking? Not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I'll just go fuck myself and give all the money back.
Yeah. It's
you have to. That passive aggressive, that's the only way to.
And I mean, I just don't like board games in general anymore. I'm kind of over it.
I like to see, I think it's a great way. Like if I was to start a business and I had some business partners, see who you people really are. Let's play a quick round of Uno.
We should play a Cult of Thalia game of Risk.
Oh, dude. That one is a slow burn.
Yeah.
That's a table flipper.
Risk
for sure.
is really where you find out who people are, though, because it's so long. And it's like true nature really shines through.
Yeah. Well, and it's like the long game. You're like, you did that to me.
That's when everybody's going to find out that I'm a loser.
You're like, you created an alliance? What are y'all, on a group text message? Like, what is happening, dude?
I have made group text messages for Risk before.
Yeah, dude. I've been doing under the table deals in Monopoly.
That's
like,
the CIA, man.
Yeah, I'm over there doing the. Let me get that yellow.
If you're nation building, you need an intelligence service, you know?
I mean, what would we be as a country without a fucking intelligence agency? Yeah.
Honestly, you could say, like.
It's like.
That's a thing to say. What would we be as a country without? Doesn't ring the same these days, does it?
No. You know, I mean, do you hide money in Monopoly?
No.
Technically, that is not against the rules. It's just a poor sportsmanship.
Bro, you're putting money under the mattress?
Well, I put a little money under the mattress. That way, if somebody hits me with two hotels, I look at them and I go, dog, I'm dying over here. Come on. And they're like, listen, I'll let you go this time. Give me one of the properties. And then comes around, I go, let me get 2 houses. They're like, how are you? Well, 5 undies. underneath the fucking board, baby. You don't hit them with the.
Keegan, I'm glad you told me this, because if we ever just like organically played Monopoly and I didn't know this, we might get in a fist fight. Okay?
Why? That's my money. I can do with it what I want. We've had this argument. My dad tried to shut it down. I said, bullshit. It's my money. I don't have to show it. That's not in the rules. It doesn't say that all your money has to be showing. It's not good ethics. It's not,
dude.
Am I morally obligated to have some sort of upstanding? Fuck it, dude. It's capitalism.
Bro, you play Monopoly like BlackRock.
I am, dude. I'm coming in. I'm taking the neighborhood. Get them out of here.
Living offshore.
I got money in offshore accounts. That's totally. That's just what it is. Hey, I caught my grandmother one time sneaking out of the bank.
Ooh.
Across the table. She slid a $100 and I saw her and she went.
Little bank robber.
Yeah, she gave me a little.
Slid you a 50 under the table?
She just hit me with the little wink and then I was like, dude. That was one of the times of seeing your dad say roadie. That was the time. Watching my grandmother slide a $100 out and just wink at me. I was like, oh, it's just don't get caught. Mm-hmm. Just don't get caught. Everybody's dipping in the bank. Everybody's in the bank.
Got to be in the bank.
You have to. If I'm sitting next to the bank.
If you have a chance and you don't take it, then you are a fool.
All they can do is call you out on it, and then you just
put it back.
You go, hey, I was just kidding, dude.
messing around.
It's not like, they can't arrest you. That's a dangerous thing when you start realizing.
Honestly, it's a good rule is if you get caught trying to take money, that you should have to.
You have to go to jail. That's my dad will send you
Don't
to jail.
pass
He
go.
moves your fucking thing until you roll out. You got to roll out or 3 turns. Yeah, you get caught. If you get caught, you go to jail.
Yeah, but it's crazy how it almost mirrors life in that if you're doing really well and you have a lot of stuff on the board, the best thing you can do is just sit in jail.
Sit in jail, yeah. That's the best. When it's like, dude, at the end of the game, you hit jail, you're like, thank God, dude. Don't let me roll doubles. Let me just sit and hide.
Try not to roll out.
Just collect my money. I'm a big I want houses and hotels as soon as I can.
Well, yeah, that's the early game is buy up as much property as you can, whatever it is.
Do you play by the real rules where every roll, if you land on something, the real rules are you either buy it or it goes up for auction for everybody. Those are the real rules.
I've never played that way.
Yeah. And dude, when you play like that, the game is fast. Because all of a sudden, everybody has
People
property.
Are auctioning quick. Yeah, that sounds like a good. Honestly, it sounds better than spending 6 hours playing.
It
Monopoly.
is. Well, that's what my dad said. He's like, these are the Parker brothers wrote these rules down, and we're gonna abide by them. That's what they took time to write these rules down. He goes, "Hey, are you smarter than the Parker brothers? I don't fucking think so. You didn't come up with Monopoly."
But let's be real. They didn't write them down. The secretary they were harassing wrote them down.
Yeah.
The woman they were molesting daily was writing them down.
Some lady going, one day, fucking hate these fucking guys. They're just madman honking her ass. But my dad does go into a rant about the rules. He's a big rule follower. But there's always somebody. Somebody's got to get.
Somebody wants to break them, and the rule they are there for a reason. I
like a little free parking. That's the one I like. Everybody throws it in. All the money goes in the middle. You hit free parking.
That's not in the rules.
No, and my dad hates it. He's like, "What? You just fucking get the lottery?"
Yeah.
Because it's everybody versus him. He beats us every time.
Okay,
it's everybody versus him.
So anything that could swing the dynamic.
Yeah, the guy who owns like nine different businesses is kicking our ass. Yep. Lo and behold.
Yeah. That's the dad move. I mean, someday you're going to be the one that always wins at Monopoly.
Yeah. And I'll be ruthless. It's like I saw a glint of it when my nephew mentioned Mario Kart. I was like, oh, you do not know.
I can't wait.
The darkness that's going to consume your life. Because I will not hold back. I will be drifting and try to lap him.
If my niece ever challenges me to Halo.
You got to tell him. Dude.
That's the one that I played a fair amount of.
Yeah. I mean, every once in a while, it's like if they're playing basketball, you got to just get that ball right. Let them know, just to remind them.
You're not as good as you think you are in your head.
You have to, especially a boy.
Just
let them know I still ball, dude. I hope the girls play basketball. I'll be out there. I'm going to have to get in shape, though. I just hope to God they don't get into fucking cheerleading or something that has 9 hours. We're talking about wrestling.
My buddy went to the state.
Dude, my buddy went to go see his brother's kid, and he was like a wrestler, and he's like, dude, I forgot that the wrestling matches are you're there for 6 hours and they wrestle for 2 minutes.
Yep,
it's crazy. I wrestled, and it's forever.
Me too.
You're there all day. Sucks. I never thought about it from the parents.
Bagels and clementines.
Yeah, I never thought about it from the parents' point of view. That sucks.
Yeah.
And then your kid just gets embarrassingly pinned in 30 seconds.
That was me every time.
Really?
I was bad at wrestling.
Yeah.
It's because I never cared enough about wrestling to really try in practice. You can tell who's going to do this well because those are the people who are sweating hard and work out of breath. And I'm just trying to get as close to the motions as I can while putting in the least amount of effort.
Yeah.
Without being called on looking like I'm not trying.
This is I weighed I think 170, wrestled 185 because I didn't want to cut weight. I was like, nah, I'm good. So I would show up for weigh-ins eating a Chick-fil-A sandwich. People hadn't eaten in days. They were like, oh my God. And I was weighing in with all my clothes on. I don't give a shit. I was okay until I wrestled somebody.
Suit.
until I wrestled somebody that was supposed to be in that weight class.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then you were like, oh, oops.
Yeah. Dude, I had a leggings, my little knee pads were zebra print. And they would be black when they were around my ankles. And when I'd flip them up, they were zebra. So I would go out there, and when I would go out to shake hands, I would get out there, and right before I'd shake their hands, I'd flip my zebra print things up, and everybody would be like, whoa! And the dude wrestling me would be like, what the fuck? I thought it was hilarious. I did it every time, and I thought it was the funniest thing. And it was even funnier when I lost.
And then that one guy who was supposed to be in your weight class, he saw you do that, and he was like, this is going to be great.
I wrestled this guy that I didn't know was like the champion at like 185.
Yeah.
And like all day I kept seeing this dude. And I'm like, this dude is like an asshole. But I couldn't comprehend that he was 185 because he was so big and he was cutting to be. Dude, this guy slammed me on the mat and so hard. I just remember laying there like, if I lay still, I think it will be over. Like it hurts so bad. I just remember like, I don't want him to do that again. Like he felt like fucking touching a rock. Like when he touched me, I was like, oh my God, you're like, why are you like this? Yeah, he slammed me so hard. I was like, I don't want that to happen again.
That guy's name is Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I was just like, that hurt so bad. That sucked so bad. See, I was bad enough for me though because my brother wrestled. So my older brother, who was 4 years older than me, wrestled.
Yeah.
So when he would get home from school, it was fucking on.
I just like had to do a sport, and I didn't want to play baseball anymore because I was bad at it. I hit the age where you're like late middle school.
They start throwing that ball fast.
You're like, oh, okay, I'm not good at this.
Yeah,
and
I got to that
But my
point.
parents were like, you got to do a sport, and I was like, I don't know what I want to play. Too late to start football.
Football, I was about to say, you gotta. If you didn't play younger, it's tough.
Let's give wrestling a shot. And then I did that until I think my parents like accepted. They're like, maybe he's just not the most athletic.
And the singlets was tough, dude. That's a tough look. And I wasn't like skinny, but I also was like kind of husky. So it was like just enough to be like, dude, my tits are hanging out. Just like, dude, my little Peter out there just like
cool.
pulling at your crotch the whole time. He's just like, damn, dude, this is a tough look. That's why I wanted the zebra knee pads. Like, let's get the eyes off my fucking Peter.
That's a good idea. Honestly, when you put it that way, it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, dude. I have like puffy nipples that like, you know what I'm saying? Like they like come through a shirt. So like in a singlet, I just like, dude, that the first time I looked at myself in the singlet before I went out to wrestle, crushed me.
Yeah. I think every kid who wrestled did that.
Fucking gay, dude. I'm about to go out there.
Yeah. For years, my mom had a picture of the first time when
dude.
they do like picture day. She had that dude. I looked at that and I'm like, this is going to be in the room when I kill myself. I was like, this picture right here.
This is the picture I'm going to knock over with my feet. Yeah, that's bad. Why do they always... It looks like you're about to wrangle a man into bed.
It's the most homoerotic. Like that photographer is a pedophile for sure.
100%, dude. Where are those copies going to? He's got a flash drive just... Oh, the boys.
He takes pictures of young boys and he has a room in his house called The Dark Room.
Yeah. Definitely jerking off in there. Bro, and it's pictures of boys in a singlet. Yeah. Like, you didn't have to be in your singlet.
Posing for you?
Yeah, you could have just been in sweatpants. You know what I mean? Dude, we had a guy that was a coach, and it was like, dude, as we all got older, we realized, like, this 8th grade gym teacher was a fucking creeper, dude. Ooh. Like, would always stand in the back while we were stretching, like, would make sure, dude, my buddy pointed it out while we were in 8th grade. He's like, yo, you ever notice that Coach Stack is always in front of Emily when she does jumping jacks? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, because of her tits, dude. Check it out. See if I'm wrong. Every time this girl would do jumping jacks, my man was there. Like, he was like one of those people, he would try to assist you in like a stretch. He was just and I don't think he was like creepy towards exclusively girls. Yeah. He was just a creep.
He was about it.
Because I remember him being like, you got to bend it the way, like, hey.
Dude, I hate an unexpected touch in like sometimes people, like the other day, Murray, Murray.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, an unexpected touch is not
529.
great.
I walked in the door in front of him, and he put his hand on my lower back. I'm like, dude, what? We're men. Put your hand on my shoulder, if that.
Oh, he gave you the fucking dude.
Yeah, I called that motherfucker out on it.
You have to.
You have to. You can't.
What'd he say?
I mean, Patrick was weirdly on his side on that. He was like, Trent doesn't like to be touched like that. I'm like, nah, dude, lower back is weird.
Lower back is wild.
No matter what.
You might as well be in a singlet. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That's an inappropriate touch. And he does that to girls at bars all the time. You know that.
He does it to everybody.
Yeah.
It's such a habitual motion that he thought it would be cool to do it to me.
I hate when people do that.
Cokehead shit, dude.
It's not good. I'm with you. I didn't like when I had a beard. I don't like when people touch my beard.
No.
And it's always at a bar and it's always a dude. It ain't never a hot chick. Not once. It's always a dude where you're like, dude, don't touch me with your McCracken's hands.
I get chicks who want to touch my hair.
That's crazy.
That happens to me.
Yeah, that's crazy to me to be like.
To be fair, that's how I learned how to take care of my hair. Was just chicks at bars being like,
that's a hairdresser thing.
Well, just being like, do you do this? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And they're like, you should. And then I would start doing it. And it's like, okay. And bit by bit.
You're like, that drunk lady was right.
Yeah.
I just don't like touching my face. That's crazy. Back of the lower back is tough. That's a tough look. It's like pulling you by your pocket.
Bro, in EAV, I got to set the record straight.
Yeah, hey. No, sir. Yeah. I don't like being touched as a waiter or bartender because people will do that too. They'll give you the little tug on your shirt if you're not paying attention to them because they're drunk. You're like, hey, let me. You got to address it immediately.
If I'm trying to get anybody's attention, it is one finger, tap shoulder.
Yeah.
Like quietly.
Yeah.
I mean, say their name. If you're trying to get somebody's attention, say.
A lot of times too, it's like bartenders. It's like the easiest is just making eye contact. Mm-hmm. You know, like a lot of people don't ever whistle. Snapping's out. It's just crazy. Like people that snap, I won't serve you. I'm like, you're done. I cut
snapping,
you off.
dude.
This guy's slurring his words. Get him out of here.
This isn't poetry night.
Yeah, that's rough. Touching their lower back is tough.
Yeah.
I always try to go butt to butt if I'm squeezing through.
Yup.
Dude, one time I was super fucked up at a show, and I was going by a guy, and we were sliding through this thing, and I grabbed a guy's hips, and I went nuts to butts, and I kind of pulled him into me.
Bro.
I was fucked up. Just did it real quick. I was like, nuts to butts, but I was like in his ear at the show. Dude, this guy wanted to fight. Like he was... And I was laughing so hard. And my buddy was like, he's so sorry, dude. My buddy thought I bumped into it.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, fucking nuts to butts, bro. Get your boy. My buddy was like breaking it up. And as we walked through the crowd, he's like, what is he talking about? I was like, I said nuts to butts and kind of like pulled him into me. And he goes, dude, you got me fucking defending you out there. He's like, if I would have known that, I would have let him kick your ass.
That shit's why they originally stopped doing Warped Tour, man. You got to be careful.
I just thought it was funny. We were sliding through the crowd. It was like, I wouldn't have touched him any more than I already touched him. It's just saying nuts
I see why
to butts.
you think it's funny, and it is funny if it's a very close old friend of yours. If it's somebody who's going to be like, who is this insane person doing this? And then they're going to see you and be like, oh, ha, ha. Like
I have had a couple of drinks. We were shuffling through. That is the most uncomfortable, is shuffling through a crowd at a concert. You just feel. The only thing worse is at a sporting event when people are sitting down and you're going through and they do this.
The worst. When
they just give you the half-ass knee and you're like.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid you have drinks. This dude at work said that his buddy at a Carolina game fell into people and spilled his beers. Like, fell into them. Like, just drunk as shit. I was like, dude, you might have to fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean.
Because he said it was.
I don't take. Maybe it's because I've been covered in beer more times than most people.
Well.
But I don't like being covered in beer. It's happened before.
I was going to say it was 3/4 of apparently debauchery. of these guys pushing the line, and then the last thing was he fell with nachos and beer on this dude's lady. Like that's where you're just like, okay.
Also, nachos weren't in the equation originally. That changes.
Yeah, I don't think the nachos got on people, but I think that's why he went down, was to hold the nachos. Like, no way, dude. Falling at a sporting event is so bad. I watched a guy at the first concert I ever went to at Greg Allman at the Tabernacle. If you ever go up into the third balcony, dude, it's so steep. And I watched a guy fall, and he was an older guy because he was there for Greg Allman, and he fell, and it like wasn't funny, and it was like an immediate panic. And it was like, oh, fuck, because he just, dude, went down with 2 drinks, like didn't catch himself. Always somebody with 2 drinks.
Yep. I mean, you're trying to be a trooper. You're trying to save the drinks.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're not going to make it through this fall, like, save 1 drink. If you save 1 drink, I'm going to be impressed.
Yeah, falling at a show is tough. It really sucks. I went to the movies with a girl that fell with a large thing of popcorn, and we were late going into the movie, and we were going up, and she fucking fell going up the stairs. So the popcorn went up in the air, and I started laughing so hard. Like, dude, I couldn't stop. It was like it came over me, and then we got into the chair, and she was like crying. She was so embarrassed.
You guys got to watch 12 Years a Slave or whatever.
I looked over, and she had tears rolling down her face, and I'm like, oh, I felt so bad, but dude, I couldn't. It was my nervous reaction to everybody staring at us was just like, like, oh, I want to die for you. It was just popcorn went everywhere like a movie.
Yeah. I mean, a high-profile spill is all about how you recover. If you break down crying, it's embarrassing. If you get up and you make a joke about it, now it's fun.
Yeah. She had the tears, but I think every woman in that theater sided with her because they're like, he did not just laugh at her. Like, they were like, I could feel the scorn from like a theater full of women.
You blew that one.
Yeah. And then another theater full of guys just going, oh, you did it.
I mean,
obviously I'm not with her anymore. I was blowing it, dude. My 20s was a nightmare.
One time I went on a first date when I was young, and it was at a haunted house. This lady had like free passes.
That's a tough first date, dude.
Dude,
holy shit.
There was a point where we were walking, and it was not a scary like this trail was not scary. No part of this. It was mostly just a stroll through the woods. And we get to this point where it's like big wide path. There's a couple kind of scary people around. One of them goes by in front and does the thing where he peels around and gets right behind her. And I saw it and she didn't see it. And then he got right up in her ear and said something not that scary. I don't remember what he said. I used to do a joke about it because he said something just like weirdly normal for that setting. And she screamed and started running. And then I just laughed next to the guy that just scared her.
You're like, I'm on his side.
And that's when I knew it was over.
Yeah. That's a tough first date. First off, you said haunted trail. So you had to take this lady out to the woods around Halloween.
It was a lot of people.
I know. Like, it's still busy. Just like, that's creepy.
A lot of time in lines.
Haunted houses, that's all it is. You're in a line. It's not worth it.
No. And there was like when I was a kid, they were always scary, but there was a point as an adult where like the fakeness of everything really set in, and like, they don't get me at all anymore.
I know I probably told you this before. The scariest shit that ever happened to me at a haunted house was the fire alarm went off.
Oh, yeah, because now you don't know how to get out.
It was terrifying to watch people break character. Like a dude was like, hey, and we're like, ah. And he's like, no, seriously, get the fuck out of here. We're like, oh, no. This is scary. Like you saw people like in zombie outfits, like running, like, get me out of here.
Honestly, it would be funny to start a haunted house and then just do a different, like we got a bomb threat. Just every night do a different one.
Well, what happened was we finally are running out. You're going out the side door. And then we're all sitting out there waiting to see like what happened. And people were scaring us. Like out in the parking lot, like coming up behind you, like, wow, you're like, dude, stop. Like, time out, dude. We're in the fucking parking lot, okay? Like, I need a minute. Like, Jesus Christ, we're trying to find Sarah. Like,
we want to make sure that Sarah's not burning alive right now.
Dude, we're looking for our friend. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they wanted to make sure you got your money's worth, but
Yes, yeah, it was like, dude, we went to haunted houses a lot. I remember we went to one when we were in high school and we were like partying, just, smoking weed in the parking lot. We were just obnoxious from the time, high school kids. So we're in line, we're laughing, we're partying. And I'll never forget that we're like getting ready to go. Like we're like a few up and you see the lady that's like letting you in. She's like, hey, they're coming up right now. They're going to be second in line. I was like, I don't like that, Dude, these people fucked with us so hard. It was terrifying. The first thing we walked in was like a bedroom, and then you had to walk through a closet, and the closet was like a hallway, but they had like all these shirts and stuff. And I remember walking behind my friend, and somebody grabbed my ankle, and I was like, and he pulled and started pulling hard. And I remember the son just like, they can't do that. They're doing that. And my buddy just screaming. He's like, he's grabbing me. It's just the sudden panic of like, oh, they're not playing by the rules because they know that we're shitheads. Yeah. They were like, yeah, we're going to terrify these kids.
Because they know
they
that
did.
Who's going to believe you?
That was the time that we were like Scooby-Doo. We're running from the guy that was chasing us with the chainsaw. And this dude was really chasing us. And I remember turning around, we're running, and nobody looked up. We all ran into the same wall. Like Scooby-Doo. Like 4 of us literally ran into the wall. And the guy just stopped running and was like, Jesus Christ. I had to stop and be like, well, I don't.
Yeah.
What do I do if they're retarded? Like, what are
When I was a kid, I always thought it would be fun to be one of those guys. But now, like, you're like, no, that would suck.
Yeah, people kicking you in the fucking shin.
I mean, all night in makeup in low light and like, I mean, if you're working there, it's got to be like an almost like obnoxiously goth room where you're just like, I just got to stand in here and be bored.
Yeah, and imagine if a fucking flame, like the fire alarm went off, and imagine if it did go off. All the fucking styrofoam and spider webs and
I guess I got to yell for the 500th time tonight.
Somebody screaming in your face, people screaming in your face. Yeah, you're like, ah, and they're I
mean, imagine how bad you lose your voice.
True, I didn't think about that. You would hope that you would get to do like the ones where they hit something. Have you seen that? Where they get to make the loud noise.
Yeah, slam like a piece of metal.
I mean, if you're running all night, you got to chase people with chainsaws. It's probably heaven forbid you cut somebody.
Well, they take the chain off usually.
I know,
think.
just something happens.
Yeah. Knock a kid over.
Yeah. They stop running, you just plow into them. I'm sure that's happened.
Oh, yeah. I had a friend, or like one of my neighbors as a kid got kicked out of one year because she punched one of the guys.
Yeah, that that happens constantly.
Oh, yeah. It probably happened. If I had to guess, it probably happens to everybody who does that at least once a year.
Yeah, at least once a year. Because, I mean, and I don't even know if you could be that mad at somebody because it is a natural reaction. But you have to be like, dude, you're going to get scared. Yeah. That was the scariest I've ever been in one, was when we went and they really started fucking with us because it felt like, well, how far are they going to take this? Like, are they like, how far? And you always start thinking when you're in them, you're like, this would be the perfect place to kill somebody.
Yeah, to kidnap somebody and like to just like at the end, like railroad tracks, like shift it to the right, and now you're in a different back room.
Did one, and it wasn't Netherworld, but it was like one of the smaller ones. And they did, I can't remember the name of it, but they did like movie scenes was one of it, like where you would go in and they would recreate movie scenes. But then in the other, you got in line, and we had a guy that came in. He's like, yo, what's up? Do you care if I get with y'all? I'm by myself. And we're like, yeah. So like he joined our line. Halfway through the thing, they drug his ass away. And I realized it was like an actor. Yeah. But like one of the girls we were with lost it. Like she fucking was already not doing well. And that like broke her, dude. She like for a good minute and a half, like she was like, ah! They're taking him away. And he's like, please, please. I was like, damn, dude.
Honestly, that guy would be fun to be.
That would be fun.
Because you'd become like a little bit of a friend with somebody for like.
He was good. That's what I said. Like when we were walking through, I was like, that guy was good.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was engaging, and yes, he's an actor. He was just the whole time. I was like, I wonder how many people they had. Does somebody go with every group? Like,
no way.
No way. I was like, they got to just do it like once or like every so many groups.
As that guy makes it through, he gets pulled through and then he goes out right back into line.
Yeah. So it's like your team gets it done, and it's like you're telling them, they're like, that didn't happen in ours.
Imagine if that guy, it would be. What if that guy is easily scared, so he has to go through the first half and get scared every time by the same people?
Just every time he's like terrified.
Jeff, I told you not to jump in my face like that. He's like on the smoke break just yelling at people.
Yeah, he's like, you're taking it too far, dude. I mean, yeah, haunted houses are weird. We went to I took mushrooms and went to a haunted house one time. And it was.
Why would you do that?
Not a great idea.
No.
It wasn't. It wasn't what I thought. It was crazy. So we were like sitting in line.
It can't even be like it's your fault.
I understand it completely.
Also, why would you bring this up an hour 45 in?
Are we an hour and 45 in? Jesus Christ.
How far did you think we were?
I didn't know. I just wasn't paying attention. I mean, I should tell you this story.
Okay.
And then we'll be done.
We can cut this into two probably.
I'll tell you the story and then we'll be done. So we took these mushrooms and we're with a group of people. It's me and my buddy and we're in line. And I remember I ate them and they had a projector and they were playing Nightmare Before Christmas. And I'm watching this and it's like the claymation. I really start tripping and I'm like, this is going to be awesome. Like, this is so cool. It's going to be
You thought it was going to be fun at first.
You know? And I look over and my buddy, and I'm like, dude, are you ready? And my buddy is terrified. Like the life is out of his face. And it's because I've been watching the screen. Well, he's been standing there. So as you stand in line, they bring the first people in and close the doors. Well, there's an initial scare. So I'm watching the projector. He's just watching people go behind the door and
scream.
Then scream. And he's just, as we get closer.
And then not come out.
Yeah. He's like, dude, we're going to the executioner. And like, he's like, I'm full panic, starting to trip on mushrooms. He's like, and nobody else seems concerned. And he's like, and that was like spinning me out. He's like, we're walking to our inevitable doom. And nobody seems to care.
Did we pay the guy to do this? What?
No one seems to be concerned. And we went in and dude, like it wasn't scary as you think. Like you walk in and they're like trying to scare you, but you would walk in and like the like strobe light would be going off. So we would just walk in and like, so I'm like, you're like, hey, holy shit, dude. At one point I ran into this room because I like was starting to run around and I was running around in like circles. Just be like, and some dude came out from the darkness and he's like on a walkie-talkie. He's like, hey, quit running. And that was the scariest shit that happened.
We're going to get kicked out of the haunted house.
We'll just turn around. He's like, hey, you're like, that's a real person.
You've been assuming all the actors are not real.
Like, hey, you got to quit scaring people, bro. You're freaking our actors out. Yeah, it was. I mean, it would people would jump out and it would scare you, but it was more like after we'd be like, they would jump out, we would just die laughing, and you could tell the actors like, "Well, I've never had this before."
Man,
yeah,
that's a crazy idea. I mean, honestly,
I was really into the set design.
That honestly sounds like it went so much better than it should
have. It
have.
went the best that it could have. The chainsaw guy still was not great. It was very terrifying.
Yeah, a chainsaw.
I didn't like that. I didn't like any of the noises. The noises.
Aggressive.
Yeah. That's basically where I was. I was like, Jesus. We get it, dude.
It's inside. How do you
turn that thing off, dude? What are you doing? You're huffing gas all night?
Oh, yeah.
You're just inside with the chainsaw? That's ridiculous.
And an electric chainsaw really just isn't as scary.
No, it's not. Yeah. You have the Tesla chainsaw. I've never thought about that. Yeah, you pussy. Get your liberal chainsaw out of here. Yeah, haunted house. Do you know what else was crazy that they did? They did Tribulation Trail. You grew up in the church. You never did that Tribulation Trail?
No.
Where they did a haunted trail that was like the
all the
rapture
saints?
had happened.
Ugh.
So it's the end of the world after the rapture to scare you into believing in Jesus so you wouldn't be left behind. Yeah, they did a tribulation trail is what they called it. And it went through the end stages of Armageddon and Revelation.
Man, I can't believe
how terrifying.
I can't believe so many people have OCD.
Isn't that crazy to do to people and have kids go through it?
Yeah. Be like, hey, don't let this sit with you the rest of your life in a problematic way.
I mean, I'm 37. I haven't thought about that since I was a child. And it's
crazy.
like, now I'm like seeing the flyer. I'm like, Jesus, what a weird thing to do. It was when the Left Behind books were big.
Yeah. No, I remember that.
Yeah. Which.
Yeah. That's like the thing I've been surprised to find is apparently particularly bad about my military time is that I, for a while, was something that was a punishment on the table and regularly used was a fake court-martial where they would put you in front of a bunch of officers and like high-ranking enlisted people on a board simulating a court-martial in front of your whole battalion.
Just to terrify you?
Well, just to be like, if you mess up in this simulation that we built for you specifically to be very hard and difficult to do, if you mess that up and commit what would be a war crime in the real world, then we are going to simulate what would happen in the real world, which is you have to go in front of a court and then they have to show you what you did in a way that is much more black and white clear of what happened than the information you had to work on. And they say, why'd you do that? Why'd you blow up that commercial airline?
Yeah. Why would you do that?
And then you've got to try and stutter your way through it in front of everybody that you know and work with.
Damn, dude. That's crazy.
I thought that was pretty normal in the military.
We should do a haunted house, but it's just bombing at an open mic.
Oh my God, dude.
And it's like you have to go out and there's like 10 people at McCracken's and they're aggressively like, not funny.
Oh my God, dude.
Be like D from Always Sunny, like, so not.
It would be so easy to do because you just get a bunch of comics who do open mics to sit in all the tables and just talk to each other and like eat and stuff and not pay attention to the stage and have people just cycle through.
I know that we're 2 hours into this podcast, but you know what else I've been thinking about? Rage room outside of open mics.
That would sell big, yeah.
Yeah. Or get a real hot room and do it like the fucking what's the one with the black people that has the Apollo? Do it like a real hostile room and just have people come out, and if you kill, you're like, I'm on cloud 9. If you fucking bomb, you're like, where's that rage room? Yeah. Rage rooms are fun. I've never been in one though.
Honestly, just start bringing junk to open mics and selling it to people. You can smash this calculator.
You know, people do them. I saw one that was a mobile rage room, and it basically was just a U-Haul truck that you could go in and break stuff. I was just like, what is this business model? I
think the rage room's kind of bullshit. I think if you need a rage room, then you are not creative enough of a person to.
I just thought it was something. It's like axe throwing. It's like something that's just weirdly pop. You know, like I've never done the axe throwing, but it seems to be like a weirdly popular thing with drinking.
Yeah, I never paid for it, but I used to work where I was in the back of a warehouse that had axe throwing, so we would get to throw them sometimes.
That'd be cool. It just seems like it's a weird thing that I mean.
Also, I grew up in Minnesota and Wisconsin. I've thrown axes.
I've thrown some axes, you know. You're like, hey, throw an axe. Why don't you grow up and shoot a gun when you're drunk?
Yeah, you could say I go way back with axe throwing.
All right, we did it.
We did it. We podcasted for so long.
You got anything?
The longest episode.
Ever. Longest episode ever.
I mean, we might literally be able to make this 2 episodes if we have to. Augusta, Fox's Lair, the 10th of February. And then I'm judging Tournament of Topics at the Alley Stage in Marietta on February 20th.
I will be there. I'm
Hell
coming.
yeah.
I'm going to be in attendance.